Some social, political and governance analysts have commended the Akufo-Addo administration's delivery of infrastructural projects, but are raising questions on the direct benefits to the citizenry. It comes after Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's delivery yesterday on what he tagged as a data-driven presentation to argue that government has undertaken infrastructure projects in excess of 17,000. This, he says, is better than what was provided by the opposition NDC in its 8 years in office. Here are excerpts of Dr. Bawumia's presentation last night.
Since coming into office, the NPP government has embarked on numerous infrastructure development in the health sector. We've awarded contracts for the construction of 429 CHIPS compounds in rural communities. 243 of the CHIPS compounds have been completed and commissioned and are in use, and 186 are ongoing. We are constructing 55 maternity blocks and wards are being constructed at different health facilities across the country. 36 have been completed and 19 are at various stages of completion. Some of the completed projects are in communities including Eduman in Afija Kwabre, Frimpong Manso in the Tiwa district, Boko Central, Aveyime, the North Tong district, Danladi in the Nkwanta North, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, in collaboration with the private sector, we have delivered the first infectious disease center in Ghana, and this was constructed within 100 days and has since been commissioned for use. To improve delivery of essential services at deprived and remote communities across Ghana, in collaboration with Zipline, we have constructed 4 drone centers at Omeneko in the eastern region, Vopsi in the northeast region, Mampong in Ashanti, and Sekiriosi in the western region. At the end of June 2020, 79,800 medical products have been delivered to 945 health facilities by drone. And all these deliveries, when a drone is called in, it means there's a critical matter at stake. A life is about to be lost, and we need the blood urgently, we need the snake serum urgently, or we need the drip urgently. But when you call in, so all these 79,800 products, you can really think of it as lives that are being saved. And that is the impact of this drone project. And in addition, it has delivered over 2,500 COVID-19 samples to testing centers in Accra and Kumasi. As you know, as part of our health infrastructure, we have equipped the National Ambulance Service. At the time the MPP came into government, the National Ambulance Service had 55 semi-functional ambulances in the country. Semi-functional, I'm being a little generous. And these 55 semi-functional ambulances were serving over 30 million people, which translates into a ratio of 1 ambulance for 550,000 people. An attempt by the previous government to procure 70 ambulances resulted in the shipment of 30 Sprinter buses without equipment into the country. Now, not surprising, one of the key outcomes of the constituency needs assessment that we undertook revealed the need for ambulances in every constituency. People who otherwise could have lived rather lost their lives because of the inability to get to hospitals on time to receive emergency treatment while on their way to hospitals, especially pregnant women.
So you heard the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, President of Policy think tank Imani Africa, Franklin Cujo, says ultimately the voters will be the best judges of who has done better in infrastructural provision between the NDC and the MPP come December.
It's an important conversation to have, and I think that the NPP have done themselves some good by now bringing the conversation to the level where the Vice President had had to speak specifically to the issues on infrastructure. You see, when they did the accounting to the people, I think the town hall meeting in Kumasi last year, we were quick to say that they undershot themselves in terms of the infrastructure achievements they have made. They counted just about 5 major projects. We counted 22. And we retained a value which was obviously based on our own metrics. These metrics, by the way, have been used for the NDC, so nobody can quarrel with it in terms of whether it's been fair or not. And we retained a value of almost 46.44%. So I'm happy that we've now woken up to the realization that it's becoming an important conversation to have, solely because the NDC has made a meal out of the whole political conversation. The next question somebody will ask is, apart from value for money, what exactly are you getting money for in order to prosecute this agenda? Right? Because the NDC can come back and say, well, you're welcome to the debate, but I used maybe 50-something billion to prosecute this agenda, which looks as if I did a bit better per the Imani scale, because we did 51.3% in infrastructure from 2012 to 2015. But you had the same period of 2016 to 2019, and while you are doing 44.6%, but you borrowed more. In fact, you borrowed probably 3 times, or a little under 3 times more.
Also speaking to the issue is political scientist with the University of Ghana, Dr. Ali Dussu.
Town hall meetings, I just wanted to add to my senior colleague's submission. You see, they can serve 2 major purposes. It is a good governance tool, a tool for enhancing good governance by deepening transparency and accountability, but it is also a tool for political communication. In the first instance, the element of transparency comes in when government is able to tell people what they have done and then provide an opportunity for people to verify what they have said by creating a link so that people can actually go and verify what they have said and contest it. But it also serves as a little bit of, and then also sometimes the cost. The government is able to tell you how much money is involved and whether there's cost-benefit analysis prior to embarking the project and whether state resources have been saved in that regard. So when you become more transparent, it deepens the ability of the people to hold you to account so that you'll be able to interrogate the figures and then the projects that you have put there and see whether they actually work very well. So it's a very good mechanism for deepening good governance, but it is also a political communication tool. There is a tendency that political parties can use this forum to propagate a specific political agenda aimed at getting the electorate to vote for them or validate their achievement in government. If you are talking about infrastructure, I understand that we have hard infrastructure, but also have soft infrastructure. The soft infrastructure usually are not visible. They can usually be investment in maybe telecommunication equipment, it could be investment in internet data, it could be investment in any other things, many things that can enhance the livelihood of the people. But when we are talking about hard infrastructure, these are things that are visible to the ordinary eye of the person. And when politicians tell you that I have been able to do this, I've been able to do that, then you, the local person who live in that community, is not able to see those things. Or maybe you have seen them, but the state at which it was told that it has advanced to, it's not like that. Then you can match your local knowledge and experience about that project to what is being delivered at the national level. But it also may occur in several typologies, whether you are connecting at the local level. So we have micro level infrastructural development that are tailored to meet the day-to-day basic needs of the people, including water, including sanitation, including health facilities, including toilets and all those things that connect directly to the personal livelihoods and needs of the people at the grassroots level.